Yes, good morning, class. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So yesterday we had finished with Jigyas. We will be starting with Dashrath. Dashrath, are you there? Dashrath? Suman? Suman?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Okay, then start.
okay. Just 1 minute, ma'am. Okay. Good morning, friends. Today I am here to talk about the renewable energy, importance of renewable energy. From the start of the industrial revolution to the modern times, fossil fuels have been the go-to source of energy. Vehicles, homes, and entire cities rely on the use of and fossil fuels to power the various technologies. However, this type of energy that many people depend on co- coal, oil, natural gas, etc., are limited resources that will inevitably run out. But from the use of renewable resources, the energy produced by these technologies can replace part of the energy that comes from fossil fuels. In past, the burning of fossil fuels was a unique innovation with little concern as to what it may face in the as to what it may face face in the future. Now society come to know has come to realize that fossil fuels will not last since they exist in limited quantities. This issue concerns who utilizes things that uses power based on produced by fossil fuels, which makes up a great proportion of our population. This has brought up to the debate as to which energy source should be the primary source. One side of the debate argues in favor of the renewable energies replacement of fossil fuels to switch energy resources. Further, fossil fuels are also causing many pollutions. Today, the global warming, which is caused by the evolution of CO2, is mainly due to the transportation, the electricity required by us also produced by the fossil fuels. So it causes a lots of pollution. On the other hand, renewable energy has many great aspects such as wind energy, hydroelectricity, etc. can be used. Further, they are unlimited and they are eco-friendly also. We can constant efforts are made, but still a lot improvement is required to replace the conventional sources of energy, fossil fuels, with the renewable energies. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am,
Okay, thank you.
ma'am,
Dashrath, are you there?
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, my roll number is CSB 58. Actually, yesterday my internet was lagging in the last half, so I missed my presentation.
Okay. So you want to present now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Start.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, yes, start. Good.
With apparent war looming over Europe, the world has already faced the repercussions of a sinking stock market, skyrocketed fuel prices, and an ever rampant inflation on regular commodities. Amidst such disturbed times, international diplomacy must be kept at unquestionable levels of professionalism unless one wants to end up on the wrong side. A very good morning, dear ma'am, and all my friends present today. I would like to talk on the issue of Russian invasion of Ukraine and India's stance on the issue. On 30th January 2022, India abstained from voting in the UN on the issue of Russian invasion of Ukraine. Since then, it has faced a lot of criticism from the West. But in my opinion, it was a well thought out move. Indo Russian diplomacy predates modern day Russia. We have been strong allies since the Soviet era and have worked in cooperation in helping each other at times of crisis. The Soviets had helped India against the combined wrath of Western imperialism and Pakistan during the Indo Pak War and subsequently helped in the Bangladesh liberation struggle. Russia also aided us in our nuclear program at a time when the same Ukraine, along with other Western powers, had vetoed us in the UN. Today, our nuclear warheads provide us with diplomatic advantage in Southeast Asia. Presently, 86% of India's military strength has Russian assistance. We import $2 billion worth of crude oil and $600 million worth of fertilizers from Russia annually. Then we must issue the most important factor, which is of the issue of Indian students stuck in Ukraine. Had there been any diplomatic fluctuations, 18,000 of our students would have been stuck in a land they do not belong. On the other hand, invading a sovereign land is a serious human rights violation. Even though Russia can claim ethno-linguistic support from certain areas of eastern Ukraine, it still cannot be an excuse for a blatant violation for international law. This also ponders us to think if Ukraine is innocent in all this. In my opinion, they aren't. Since walking out of the Treaty of Minsk, Ukraine has done everything to bring in Western influence via NATO and the US without being a direct member of the NATO. Moreover, uh, Moreover, it has systematically deserted its Russian-speaking population, who naturally have turned pro-Russian. Moreover, recent footages of the far-right Azov battalion using schools and hospitals as defense checkpoints, or dipping bullets in pig fat to fight the Chechens, who are on the Russian side, or even resorting to killing fellow Ukrainian citizens who try to flee Ukraine for a better future, raises several eyebrows as to who the Ukrainian authorities are backing in order to win this invasion. Thus, the reality is a bit more complex, and both parties have much at fault. It was a good decision for India as a third party from not intervening and standing its own firm ground. We are no more slaves under colonialism and thus have our own reasons to abstain from the vote. India has always considered diplomatic negotiations superior, a superior alternative to war. While we are blamed for siding with the Russians, let us not forget that we have also sent much aid during this crisis to Ukraine. Let us hope that the issue de-escalates and there is peace in Europe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Royan. Roshan,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, start.
Good morning, everyone present here. I'm Roshan Das from Department of Computer Science and Technology, and I'm here to speak on the topic scope of engineering in India. Engineering is the use of scientific principles to design and build machines and structures. At undergraduate level, almost 13.5% of students in India are enrolled in engineering courses. Unemployment of young graduates in India has been a big concern for years now. As per some estimates, fewer than 5% of engineers trained in India are cut out for high skill programming jobs. India has the largest number of engineers as well as engineering educational institute and infrastructure in the world. As of 2021, India annually produces more than 1 million engineering graduates, but only 3% of them uh, have high quality jobs in India. Over 80% of them end up pursuing non-technical careers due to lack of employment opportunities. All of these factors results in brain drain. Brain drain is defined as migration of personnel in search of better standards of living, quality of life, and higher salaries. Migration of Indian engineers to US has increased by almost 85% in 10 years. Uh, a Twitter exchange on November 29 between Patrick Collison and Elon Musk brought a spotlight on India as a hub of in global engineering talents. Their tweets highlighted the fact that CEO of many top companies like Google, Microsoft, IBM, Adobe, and Twitter are all Indian engineers, and hence America is highly benefited by Indian engineers. Thus, I would like to conclude my speech by stating some of the factors that could reduce the brain drain, and the factors are lower reservations, lower population, better job opportunities, and self-dependence, and promoting other co-curricular activities as an active career options. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Roshan. Rajarshi, Rajarshi, roll number 63, Rajarshi. Riddhiraj, Riddhiraj.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please start.
Good morning, ma'am, and all my friends. This is Riddhiraj Dev from Department of Computer Science and Technology, and I'm going to speak on my recent tour of Andaman Islands. Andaman is a beautiful place for tourism. We had been planning for some time for touring Andaman, but could not due to the pandemic. Finally, after spending nearly 2 years at home, we set out for Andaman. On December 28th, we reached Andaman about 20 minutes before scheduled time. Only water and water in all directions, having varieties of colors. It was a stunning sight. On day one, our first destination was cellular jail. In history classes, I had studied that there was little room for a prisoner in cellular jail with no light coming inside. However, it was completely opposite. Each room in the cellular jail had a height of nearly 10 feet, with much sunlight coming in, if not enough. I wouldn't have known this if I hadn't seen it. Rightly said, traveling is a part of education. After that, we went to Anthropological Museum. The museum portrayed the lifestyles of various tribes. It was worth watching. On day two, we set out for Havelock, Swaraj Deep. Our ship's name was Macruz. After nearly 1 hour and 10 minutes, we reached Havelock. After that, we toured some beaches, namely Kalapatthar and Radhanagar. We were mesmerized by the elegance of the sea. There we had some coconut water. After touring some more parts, we returned to our government guest house. On third day, we set out for another island named Neel. Again, there were some beaches. Although the beaches were more or less the same, the colorful attractiveness of the seawater did not make it monotonous at all. On fourth day, we returned to Port Blair via Green Ocean ship. Unlike our previous ship, this time we were allowed at the deck. During the whole journey of about 90 minutes, I spent at the deck and enjoyed some music there. On reaching there, we went to another beach named Vandur. This beach is famous for sunset. After that, we went to a get together where my father met his friends staying there nearly after 30 years. It was a wonderful time. On fifth day, at about 4 a.m. in the morning, we set out for Diglipur. After reaching a certain point, we had to wait for a long time in a queue of nearly 50 or more cars. Actually, due to the safety and security of the Jarawa tribes, we all had to move together by escort. On the way, we visited the limestone caves. We went there by huge ship with plenty of buses and cars and even trucks in it. I was pleasantly surprised because I saw such a ship for the first time. After visiting Limestone Cave, we started for Diglipur again. The road was very rough and we reached there late at night. We spent the night there at a government guest house. The following day, we went to a beach named Ross and Smith. This beach has got a very unique specialty. Due to the tides, the beach gets divided by seawater into two distinct beaches. We were fortunate enough to watch that division. It was indeed a wonderful sight to watch. On seventh day, we returned to Port Blair, and with that, our Andaman tour came to an end. This tour taught me many things. First of all, The basic cause of crime is unemployment. In Andaman, almost 100% are self-independent. Due to this, Andaman is a crime-free zone. Secondly, everything that we study in books may not be accurate. One needs to see and believe. Last but not least, many of us think that it is impossible to survive without internet. In Andaman, the network speed was negligible, but we didn't feel disturbed at all. Rather, we felt that these 7 days passed in 7 hours. This tour of Andaman shall remain one of the most memorable tours in my life. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Prithviraj. Uh, Raj,
Yes, ma'am.
start.
Good morning, ma'am, and everyone present here. My name is Raj Shah, and the topic that I have chosen for today is war. Wars form a very important part of the history of mankind. Ever since the beginning of civilization, wars have been fought to fulfill one objective or the other. If truth be told, they have always failed to do so in modern times. Those who lead us into war promise us an international environment where peace and tranquility shall prevail. However, nothing could be further away from the truth. In the words of Harry Patch, one of the last surviving soldiers of World War I, a war is nothing better than legalized mass murder. This indicates how futile a war is and makes us realize that the greatest cost of war is human life itself. The physical damage caused by war is not only limited to deaths and severe injuries. People are forced to flee their countries overnight, leaving behind their life earnings, homes, and even their loved ones. In addition to this, the trauma experienced by the survivors lives on through their children and families, casting their dark shadow on at least the next generation, if not more. The recent war in Afghanistan and the ongoing war in Ukraine are strong indicators of how world leaders have forgotten the consequences of the multiple wars scarring our history. Pictures of innocent people being murdered on the streets, the great rush at the Kabul airport, and the missile attacks on civilian structures, including hospitals in Ukraine, are examples showing how the hunger for power supersedes all morality. It is difficult to imagine the pain the people must be
Absolutely. Yeah. I,
going through, seeing their houses reduced to ash in
you
mere
got
moments.
disconnected. Raj, you got disconnected. You got disconnected in between.
Ma'am, from which point, ma'am?
You were talking about the recent war in Afghanistan. You had just started and then you got disconnected.
Okay, ma'am, okay. The recent war in Afghanistan and the ongoing war in Ukraine are strong indicators of how world leaders have failed to learn their lesson from the multiple wars scarring our history. Pictures of innocent people being murdered on the streets, the great rush at the Kabul airport, and missile attacks on civilian buildings, including hospitals in Ukraine, are perfect examples showing that the hunger for power supersedes all morality. It is difficult to imagine the pain the people must be going through seeing their loved ones getting killed, seeing pregnant women and children being murdered in the airstrikes, and seeing their homes reduced to ash in mere moments. In both these events, it is the leaders who sit back in their safe bunkers while innocent people and soldiers continue losing their lives. The United Nations, created after the Second World War, has proved to be nothing different to its predecessor. In the light of recent events, it is clear for everyone to see that world peace is hanging by a thin thread, and the illusion of peace in which we were living after the Second World War has faded. To conclude, I would like to say that war is one of the most horrific forms of crime, and it can never be justified, whatever the reasons or concerns may be. As Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam has rightly said, A war is never a solution to any problem. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Ashrit, Ashrit,
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ashrit.
your video is not on.
Now, ma'am, now I'm visible.
Yes, start now.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ashrit. I'm from Department of Computer Science and Technology. Uh, Today, I'm going to talk about my topic, metaverse, which has generated a lot of hype and excitement in the world of business technology right now. So, uh, what exactly metaverse is? Like, metaverse is made up of two words, where meta, which basically means in Greek beyond, and the verse comes from the word universe. This basically refers to an artificial world where you're gonna able to do almost everything you can imagine of, like get together with friends and family. You can work, play, shop, and create stuff. Uh, Metaverse provides better social interactions, like through avatar we can create our own avatars in the virtual world using virtual reality headsets, and it has created a lot, it will be created a lot of business opportunities, and there's a lot of improvement in gaming sector too, uh, and also in financial gain, like you can buy digital assets using cryptocurrencies. So on the flip side, there are a lot of concerns. There are a few things to concern about, such as cyber threats, uh, and we lose connection to the physical world when we enter in metaverse. And there are a lot of privacy and security issues too, and mental health issues are also a big concern. Uh, so at the end of the day, it's all decisions in the hands of the people, not the technology. So if you find any value on what metaverse has provided, you can use it. But most of the people think that this is the future, and it's going to be change the future of humanity. Uh, but it's just the beginning of this arena, and it it will be optimized in coming next 5 to 10 years. So let's hope for the better future. Thank you, everyone. This is Ashley signing off.
Okay, thank you. Shovik,
Good morning, everyone. I am Sovikta from CST department. I want to talk about online education. Teaching has gone online because of COVID-19. All schools, colleges across the global have closed and over 1.2 billion children are out of the school. Online education takes place over the internet. It is called e-learning. Online education has some advantage and some disadvantage. Advantage are here the student access online study material, join virtual lectures, post question to lecture, chat with fellow students, give virtual exam and do more fellow students things. Online classes provide good quality of education to students in the comfort of their homes and also help to controlling virus spread. There are no barrier to time. They can study at their convenience. They got to know more about various apps and programs. All the study materials is safely stored in an online database. If students need further exam plantation, they can easily view these records and resolve doubt instantly. Disadvantages are there is no face-to-face conversation between teachers and students. Internet connectivity is also big issue in some areas. Internet prices are also increasing and everyone cannot afford online education. Online education may also hinder physical development. Online education has both advantage and disadvantage, but it is an excellent method of learning that can help develop a student performance. Thank you, ma'am.
okay, thank you, Shovik. Ranjan, are you
Yes,
there?
yes, ma'am.
Start. Your video, yeah. Start.
Good morning to all of you. I Ranjan Kumar from Department of Computer Science and Technology. Today my topic is technology making us less human? Since the invention of machines, there are debates on whether technological innovation are reducing the level of humans. With the drastic improvements in the technology devices, social scientists observe that this is resulting in the deterioration of the human qualities such as morality and intelligence in humans. Not everyone agree with this statement, of course. Yes, technology is making us feel less human. We are increasingly depending on technological devices to guide us. For example, we keep reminders in a smartphone and Google the question for answer. We are outsourcing the activities that require intelligence to technology. Thinking, remembering, think and analyze are the essential qualities of humans. Too much dependence on technology is make us less human. Face-to-face communication is also affecting many people are now living in the virtual zone, which in their smartphone as the need for talking with each other is reducing. The ability to communicate each other, which is a basic quality of living being, is declining. Our decision making skills are also getting affected as we are now asking search engines to know what is the best to read other solution. We are depending on the knowledge base of the internet even at the offices to finish the work at hand. This affects cognitive skills, which is the essential quality of humans. When someone is in trouble, some people are taking videos and pictures instead of helping them. This became a common thing those days. Dependence on technology is affecting our morality, our system of values and principles that decide which is right and which is wrong. Just take me a wonder who are taking turning into machines. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Uh, Tejaswini.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah. Start.
Hello, everyone. I am Hamsa Tejaswini from the Department of Computer Science and Technology. My topic for today's speech is a topic of debate indeed, which is, can money buy happiness? Money is probably one of the most important things in this world. Without it, life would be hard. With it, you become economically stable, making life easier and simpler in some ways. But the real question is, can money actually make someone emotionally happy? There are many sides to this question, some who say yes and the others who say no. Though there are a lot of people who believe that money doesn't buy happiness, there still exists a large number of people who disagree with it. They believe that money can buy everything indeed, and it is the most important thing in the world. There is no right or wrong to this question, but it just depends on what we believe in. What exactly is happiness anyway? Happiness is when you feel complete and satisfied. It is when you're content with where you are and what you have. It is the joy of spending time with someone you love or doing something you love. It is an emotion and the best one yet. Money can easily make a person temporarily happy, which with the possessions it can buy, but true happiness is something more than that. It can buy you many things, but happiness from it is limited to a certain period of time. Money can buy you a clock, education, makeup, or medication. However, it cannot buy you time, knowledge, beauty, or health. It can buy you acquaintances, but not friendship, hierarchy, but not respect. People spend their entire life trying to make more and more money, thinking that it means success. But then they neglect their friends and family in this process. However, they generally end up all alone with no one to share their experiences or spend time with. There are more important things in life that make you happy, for example, friends who obviously don't come with a price tag. Money can never buy the memories and experiences you shared with loved ones. You don't need a fancy vacation to have good time, but then it just depends on who you spend it with. People nowadays have raised the value of money way out of proportion. They make it seem like if you're not rich, then you can't live a good life, but that's not true. You can lack money and still live a happy, perfect life. I agree that money is an essential part of modern life and one cannot survive without it. But money should not be considered as a source of happiness. It's always the little things that bring you true joy. In conclusion, I would say that money can buy pleasures but not happiness, and these two things should be kept different. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Tejaswini. Chandrian.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning to one and all. Today, our General Sinha is here to speak on the topic water wars will increase in the upcoming decades. So, what is water war? So water war is a term describing conflict between countries, states, groups, or groups over right to access water resources. So water wars, it may also lead to economic slowdown. In fact, water is becoming world's most next security and economic challenge. Although no modern war has been fought due to water, this resource has been an underlying factor of several armed conflicts, with the era of cheap and beautiful water having been replaced by increasing supply and quality of constraints. The risk of the water war are now increasing. Nowadays, the tension and disputes between the countries are rising due to increasing problems of water scarcity, the rapid population growth, and degradation in the water quality. Uh, Ma'am, can you come back to me after some time?
Okay.
Thank you.
Divyanshu,
Yes, ma'am. So, when you go through your newspaper or when you
your video
open,
is not on.
no, uh,
Yeah, now start. It's gone again.
it's on. Yeah. Ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am.
Anything wrong?
1 minute, ma'am, 1 minute. Ma'am, is it visible now?
Yeah, start.
Uh, when you go through your newspaper or when you open or when you turn the TV on and switch the news channel, you must have found a news which is common these days, which is unemployment. So, I, Divyansh Poddar, am here today to talk to you about one of the major problems in nation growth, which is unemployment. So, according to CV Mori, unemployment is a state of workless for a man fit and willing to do work. That is, it is a condition to involuntary and voluntary idleness. So, what are the causes of unemployment? One of the major causes I think that is population. Due to enormous increase in population, it is difficult for everyone to get a job, and hence there is a huge competition. Like there's for a little vacancy, many applicants are there. So it is impossible to give everyone job, and there is unemployment. And second one is defects in education system. Indian education system judge students based in their academic performance and not in their overall performance. So there is a lack of practical knowledge. And third one is unpreparedness to accept socially degrading jobs. Like many young age people want office work and refuse to do other jobs. So, according to International Labour Organization, the unemployment rates in India during year 2015, 16, and 17 were 3.49%, 3.51%, and 3.52% respectively. So, we can say that it is increasing, slightly increasing every year. So, what are the remedial measures to control unemployment? So, first, there are population control, education reform, industrial development, and to increase more opportunities of jobs, promoting agricultural developments, attractive programs and projects. Many steps are already taken and being taken by government, and as a responsible citizen, we should also initiate possible solutions towards these problems and dream for a better future ahead for our nation. Hence, with this, I want to conclude my speech. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Divyanshu. Navneet?
Yes, ma'am.
Navneet? Yeah,
I am visible.
yeah, start.
Hello everyone, I am Navneet Chaurasia from Electrical Department. Today I am sharing a journey experience to all of you. That is my journey to Kota. I think you all know Kota is a dream city for students, which is located in Rajasthan, and many of you are visited there. I think for your JEE preparation. Me too. I visited here for my studies in 2018. When I attending my first class, I see many of the students are there. I have not seen as much as student. There is a lot of student in a single time. I have never seen here in the class. I make many friends and teachers always say a famous dialogue from the Three Idiots. I think you all have seen this fantastic movie. The dialogue is life is a race. If you don't run fast, someone, I think many one overtake you. And I'm also in that race and I don't want to fail the race. So I carry on my studies. A 2 year duration is not less. It's a big time gap for a student. This is my this is, there are many things that happened in that duration and that time gap decides your performance in the exam. I have appeared in JEE examination 2020, but but I am not selected in that. It's a very big moment. It's a heartbreaking moment for a student. But I tried again. Try again is the only thing that can boost a student. And I try again in upcoming year, and I am here in that institute. I can tell the experience in words of my journey. When I live in Dakota, I have many memories, and that's the end of a beautiful journey. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you, Navneet. Rakesh. Rakesh, are you there?
Good morning, ma'am, and good morning, my dear friends. Topic is how to motivate people to do physical activities so that we can prevent non-communicable diseases. According to Indian Council of Medical Research or ICMR report, the contribution of non-communicable diseases to total death in country was around 62% in 2016. Also, Indian government spent huge amount of money on cure of non-communicable diseases through program like Ayushman Bharat or PMJ program. Non-communicable disease includes complications related to heart, chronic diseases, failure of other vital organs, cancer, diabetes, etc. This means more than half of life threats from all the diseases can be prevented just if people start to live a healthy, balanced life. Because main reason behind non-communicable diseases are eating unhealthy diet, tobacco or alcohol use, and lack of physical activity. My focus here is on lack of physical activity only. According to WHO or World Health Organization, one need at least 150 minutes of moderate workout or 75 minutes of rigorous workout per week to stay healthy. And also WHO data suggests lack of physical activity is fourth greatest risk factor for mortality. So people should do at least minimum workout recommended by WHO to stay out of risk factor. But thing is, everyone know that one should do workout to stay healthy, but majority of them don't do that. According to me, there are mainly two reasons behind that. First is that some people think they are very busy or they don't have time for working out. But that doesn't make any sense because working out for even 50 minutes a day can add around 10 years of healthy lifestyle in your lifespan. Moreover, a healthy person is far more productive. How much a busy person like is everyone can manage 15 minutes per day. Second reason is lack of motivation among people, especially people of older age and women. The reason is they don't see a lot of people or other persons of their age working out. They feel kind of odd, especially in our country. It's not very a common thing. The people can easily, this problem can easily be solved by advertisement, because advertisement has a very big role in our in shaping our lifestyle, even bigger than what we think. Like it decides what we wear, what we eat, or when we or where we go on our vacation. Then why advertisement can't make people feel that it is important to work out? Government can spend a small amount of money on advertisement to prevent diseases rather than curing it. Also, government can reward people if their health conditions are up to certain level, like we used to get marks in our physical education subjects in our school. Reward can be of any types, like monetary incentive or any other kind of award. So young people should also motivate our parents and other older ones to do physical activity and make them realize how important it is to stay healthy. Because in a middle class family, if any member of family gets ill with a severe non-communicable disease, whole family gets affected in a very bad way, both financially and emotionally. Overall summary is that we should make an environment which motivate people to do physical activity. At last, I would like to say that in this busy world, it is almost impossible to stay mentally healthy. So better ensure your physical health. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Jagadeshwari,
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have prepared a presentation. Can I show?
your presentation,
Yes, ma'am.
but then it will be too long and I did not ask for PPT.
No, ma'am, I short.
No, no need for no need to show the PPT. You switch on your camera and say whatever you have prepared.
Okay, ma'am. Good morning, respected ma'am and my dear friends. I am Jagadeshwari from Department of Electrical Engineering. I am here to speak a short note on the topic. The planet is heading towards the environment disasters. The major effect is due to the more population. Nowadays, in our country and in our world, the population is increasing tremendously. Due to the increment of population, there will be need of more resources from the earth. For getting more resources, we the human brains are searching for great routes to get more products from the earth, indeed causing damage to the earth. For example, in agriculture sector, for getting more products, we are adding toxic pollutants like fertilizers, pesticides, and insecticides to the soil. Indeed, polluting the soil by decreasing the fertility of the soil. And another important effect is due to the industries. As India is one of the developing country, has lots of industries in our area. So due to the wastage released from the industries cause air pollution and water pollution and soil pollution. Due to the water pollution, the animals living in the water, that means water animals, are leading to death and indeed causing damage to the earth. And another effect is due to the global warming and increase of greenhouse gases. As nowadays deforestation is increased and CO2 content in the atmosphere is getting increased, the global temperature and the greenhouse gases are increased in our earth. Due to this impact, the ozone layer surrounded the earth is getting depleted, and there is a severe impact of UV rays from the uh, atmosphere on the earth. Due to this, there is unusual rains and environment disasters on the earth. I conclude that earth is the only planet where life exists. So save earth. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jagadeshwari. Priyangshu,
Yes,
Priyangshu,
ma'am.
yeah, start.
Well, so good morning, everybody. I am Priyangshu De, and I will be speaking about the pollution and its various impacts. Pollution has become one of the most concerning issues nowadays for our planet and mankind. It takes place when various kinds of pollutants contaminate our environment. Pollution is highly responsible for disturbing the balance of the ecosystem, and moreover, it impacts our life severely as well as contributes greatly to the global warming.
Pollution is rapidly increasing day by day, so it has become rather essential for us to know about the various causes, types, and also impacts of pollution so that we can deal with it and minimize it as much as possible. There is no one such person or a group of people who are to be blamed for creating this pollution, but it is rather it is all of us who are doing this. Pollution comes in various forms. To begin with, we have the air pollution, which is extremely dangerous kind of pollution. It contaminates the air to a very large extent. When toxic gases enter the atmosphere, life becomes very difficult for human beings. The burning of fossil fuels, mining activities, as well as automobile exhausts and many other such things contribute to the air pollution. Thus, it causes acid rains, respiratory problems, global warming, and many more. Next up is the water pollution, which is on the rise like anything. The industrial waste, sewage, and the wastewater which is discharged in the water bodies, as well as oil spills, contribute to this water pollution. Further, the impact of this water pollution is very deadly because we cannot survive without water. It is needed for daily to daily activities like drinking, cooking, as well as agricultural purposes. Furthermore, we have the soil pollution, which contaminants and toxic chemicals hamper the quality of the soil. Soil pollution has a very negative impact, especially on the wildlife and vegetation. In addition to this, the human life and the groundwater activities are severely damaged. Improper